Hi guys, welcome back to Chops Garage. Apologise for any picture quality today because we're on my phone. I've left my GoPro in a car somewhere. We've got to track it down. So for those of you that don't know the channel, this channel is all about me having set up my own car dealership. Always been a bit obsessed with cars, always had loads of cars kicking around, always flipped cars, but in the end decided to give up the corporate life, not go back into another management job, and try and start up a business selling cars. See if I could make my hobby my work, which is living the dream, isn't it really? With a kick up the backside from my wife. And some of you have been watching the channel for a long time and you've seen me start from my friend's garage. My friend Stuart down in Barnstable has a place called Alfa Ragazzi that does Fiats and Alfa restorations. I started off down there with him, just renting a bit of space, selling Fiat 500s mostly, and just 2 or 3 at a time, and working with him, sharing the profits out on them. And you've seen the business grow from there. We started expanding out to do more and more cars there till we got like 8 or 9 cars on the go, and mixed it up with different models. But then the landlord there said that I had to leave the premises, or not necessarily leave the premises, stop selling cars, because the lease that Stuart had with them only allowed the repair and restoration of vehicles. It didn't allow sales. So that looked like that was going to be a big bump in the road for Chops Garage, and it meant we had to go out and look for our own unit. And about 5 months ago, I got this unit here all to myself to do car sales from. Also, I bagged a large area of the car park out there. To the end of that trailer is all my space. But the landlord then convinced me to take on second unit, because that was going up for grabs as well. So we have this unit here as well, which is more for the preparation of the vehicles and probably storage of my toys. If you watch my channel, you'll know I have a few toys that I never really get around to working on as well. I really like the old stuff. And since we've moved here, sales have been good. You guys have seen me do well. Traditionally, I always stuck to cars, cheap cars, £3,000-4,000 cars, because North Devon's a low-income area. Always demands for small cars, but they took a lot of work because, again, if you watch my channel, you know I like them to go out perfect. We don't leave them with dings and dents in. We service them before they go out. They always get advisory-free MOTs. So it's a lot of work to make cars of that age, bring them up to that level, and offer the level of service we're offering, which is all the cars go out with a minimum of 3-month warranty, most of them 6 months. Things like this little Micra here that I haven't got round to doing. But there's been a big change recently. Obviously we wanted the business to grow, I wanted to do more cars. There's been quite a big change recently in the sort of age and value of the vehicles I've been doing. One of the big things with that was I was buying everything from British car auctions, but I started to get offered cars through the channel from other dealers, from subscribers, and also I bagged a relationship with the main dealer. And that means I started to get into newer, more expensive vehicles, but also wanted to keep those relationships open. I started buying pretty much everything they offered me, so that I was the least hassle person to sell to. So I started pretty much buying everything and moving away slightly from the cheapies. Still got a few of them kicking around, but not as many as before. Now with this business, it's self-funded. I fund it all myself. Started off the business by putting the money into it. Did take a bounce back loan when the bounce back loans came out, because I thought, well, it's cheap borrowing, isn't it? But not a massive amount. Could have paid it back straight away, but the interest rates are so low, there's no point. I turned that money around, made a profit on that money pretty much straight away within a month or two of taking it. But I've kept hold of it because it's the cheapest borrowing you can get out there at the moment, isn't it? So that helped a little bit, but we pretty much is all self-funded. Other than that, that's only a small proportion of the money put into the business. But we got to a point now where, as the title of the video says, it's kind of getting to be a make or break period of time for Chops Garage, which is why there's been slightly less videos. They're coming out in great chunks because I'm getting a load recorded, then finding 5 minutes to do it. But I've had to prioritise getting cars ready, prepped, photographed, up for sale. Now the reason I say it's make or break now is traditionally I always had maybe at most 10 cars, and in those 10 cars I might have 20 to 30,000 pounds. Again, I know there's gonna be lots of people watching this who deal with much larger numbers than this. They've probably got cars on their forecourt that are worth 10 to 20 grand, but as I said, I specialise in small cheap cars, doing it pretty much all on my own. At the beginning I did mostly all the mechanicals myself, as well as the paintwork. But as the business has grown, all these numbers have gone up quite significantly. I've been able to do less and less myself. I've been paying other people to work on the vehicles. I've been paying people to do the mechanicals, and I've now got a really good paint guy comes along and does the paint for me. But as I said, we've been moving into higher value vehicles. Something like this here, this is a 9 grand car. That would normally be 3 vehicles for me. We've got a Kia back here, which is like a 7 grand vehicle. Again, that would be 2 to 3 vehicles. Ignore these are just toys that are kicking around that I haven't done anything with. But yeah, I mean, we've got a car here that's like £6,000, again, double what it'd be. Things like this is what I would normally do. That's a 2995er. That's like probably a 3.5, 3.7. Got mega low miles on that one. And outside I've got the Hyundai i10, the Suzuki Swift, Fiesta, all like sort of 3 grand cars, 3 to 4 grand max. But that's the way I went before. But on top of these vehicles here, I have the Skoda Yeti here that is being prepped. That's about a 7 grand vehicle. I've got a Citroen DS convertible down at the garage, which is like a 7 grand car. I've got like a 5 grand automatic Corsa down there as well. And I think when I added it all up the other day, I think I've moved from having at any given time about 20 grand's worth of stock to 100 grand's worth of stock, which is a big leap, and that's all happened in a couple of months. It's all happened quite quickly. Yeah, so the reason that the video is titled sort of make or break is because this month is going to really decide whether I can do this or not. Are people going to come to my little unit out in the sticks and buy 9 grand cars from me? Or is that not my market at all? Have I sunk all my money into expensive cars that are going to sit around for an age? Again, if you watch my video, my small stuff, it turns over in a couple of days. But some of these cars, again, this car is getting on, for a couple of months now. This is going to be coming up soon, I guess 3 weeks or so on that. This has only been up for a few days, but already making me nervous that I haven't really had many inquiries on that. More expensive cars are slower to sell, and now I've got all my money tied up in them. So it's going to be an interesting month. Like I say, this month will decide whether Chops Garage can move to higher end vehicles. That obviously these require a lot less prep because they're newer, lower mileage, normally in really, really good condition. We've just we haven't got here, we've got a Nissan Qashqai that's just gone out the door. Luckily that sold fairly quickly. That was like a 6.5 grand vehicle, and a Honda CR-V that was a 5 grand CR-V that looks like it's just sold as well. That's a more recent move to doing 4x4s, 4x4 style cars, because I didn't do those before. So yeah, a lot of these cars, like I say, that's needed 0 prep and is retail ready, but is really, really slow to sell. That needs has no prep really, retail ready. Same with the Kia as well. But these are the kind of cars you're finding on proper forecourts with glass fronted units and 3 or 4 salespeople in, and coffee machines and finance and big advertising campaigns, all that kind of stuff. So those of you not already following me, if this has been of interest to you at all, you might well want to hit that subscribe button down below and find out what happens. For those of you that have been along with me the ride from the beginning, comment down below. Where do you see the direction of the business going? What do you think about this move to the newer, more expensive stuff? A lot of you have helped me along the way with lots of advice, and it'll be interesting to see what your thoughts on it are. And in another month or so, we'll have to revisit this point and see whether I was right to be cautious or whether we come up smelling the roses. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button down below if you did enjoy it. And I say, if you aren't already subscribed, which about 60-70% aren't, please do consider hitting that subscribe button below. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with all of this, you need to go back and watch my back catalogue and see me starting out with the cheapest little runarounds and the amount of work put into prepping them. Anyway, thanks a lot. Catch you again soon.